Hello guys, welcome to some academic decathlon economics. Today we are going to talk about fundamental economic concepts, and that is section 1. So this is the very beginning of things. And I'm sure all of you who are watching this all know what economics is. You've already heard the term economics, you hear it in your daily life. But what really is economics? And I believe, and also the guide believes, that the fundamental thing behind economics is the concept of making choices. So whenever people have to make a choice, there's some economic decision being made. And once you begin to view the world through a lens of economics, you can see a lot of different things and you could just get amazed at the world. So first, let's talk about a supermarket. So in a supermarket, there's an average of 47,000 different items. Just think about that, 47,000. And you might take for granted just walking to a supermarket and you can get all this fresh produce, you can get Pop-Tarts, you can get all sorts of things and beverages and whatnot. But the individual choices that had to go to get to the farm and the manufacturer and the packager and the transportation, all the way to get into that supermarket so that you can buy it and get that in your hands, there's a lot of choices that's going on there. And these are some of the things that get highlighted from doing economics. And so there's some basic assumptions that you need to go under for economics. Otherwise, none of the models will make any sort of sense. And I think the most important one is this concept of scarcity. And if you've heard the word scarce before, it just means there's not a lot of something. But scarcity in this context basically means there is not unlimited of everything. Everything has a limit from like natural resources like water and oil, even things like information. So people with degrees, the amount of primary sources available for something, capital goods like machines to make products, factories, land, all of these things are scarce. But scarcity contrasts with the unlimited human wants. So almost everyone wants to have all the money in the world. They want to live in a nice house. They want to have all the food. They want to be able to go wherever they want. And these are the unlimited human wants. But there's scarcity, so not everyone can have those unlimited wants. And so because of this, there's something that comes up that's called a trade-off. And trade-off just basically means that you have to give up something to get something, and that's due to scarcity. And whatever you have to give up in a decision is called the opportunity cost. And this is a very, very important term in economics. Remember the opportunity cost. It's what you have to give up when you have to trade off something. So for example, if I'm going to the store and I am going to choose to buy, I don't know, a bag of donuts or not for $20, if I decide to buy that bag of donuts, my opportunity cost is $20 because that's how much it cost. But if I didn't buy them, my opportunity cost would be the delicious donuts I didn't get to consume. So you see, the opportunity cost can be monetary, but it isn't always monetary. And if we think about opportunity cost on a bigger scale, like going to college, those years that you go to college, your opportunity cost is, of course, the price of college, but also those years that you could have been working, getting experience, getting money, and all of that. And so opportunity cost is a really broad term. Think about whenever you make a decision, what is your opportunity cost? What is everything that you're giving up? And so when people have to make an opportunity cost, when people have to make a trade-off and so they have an opportunity cost, we assume that they are rational. And when they're rational, that basically means that they're doing cost-benefit analysis. So they're looking at their opportunity cost, they're looking at what they're giving, they're looking at what they're getting, and they make a decision based off thinking. We assume that everyone in economics is rational. In the real world, maybe not, but in economics, everyone is rational, everyone is paying attention to the opportunity cost. And then the final assumption that we have to make are the gains from trade. And gains from trade is essentially because people can make more and better things by specializing. So if you focus on one thing, or if a community focuses on one thing, they can do that a lot better than if they try to do all sorts of things. Imagine if you had to do everything to self-sustain. You could probably do things, but you couldn't do it as well as if you focused on one and traded with someone else. And so gains from trade is something in economics that's really important. There's multiple types of economics. So the biggest division is the microeconomics versus macroeconomics. And these are exactly what they sound like. So micro, small, it deals with the individual markets. It deals with people making decisions. Whereas macro, it's a lot bigger. It deals with full entire economies. It deals with international trade. Just micro, small, macro, big. And another two types of economics are the positive economics versus normative. And positive economics uses facts. It uses numbers. It uses facts and numbers to explain what's going on in economics, whereas normative economics is what should be done. It's opinion, but it's not like you should ignore these opinions, because it's really important that we can actually apply what we learn from all the data and all the charts and things and apply them to what should actually be done in society. So both of these are very important. And I remember this by saying it's positive to use facts and numbers, but it's normal to have an opinion, because like positive and then normative, it's like kind of normal. And the final thing that we should talk about here is something called Pareto efficiency. And this is named after an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto. And this is essentially when all the resources in an economy are being used, and you can't make someone better off without making someone worse off. And here's an example of that. So let's say that there's two people, person A and person B, and there's $100 worth of stuff. So if person A gets $50 and person B gets $50, it's Pareto efficient, because you can't give each person more money without taking away money from the other person. Even if it's like this, where person A has $100, person B has $0, that is still Pareto efficient. You can't make person B better off without making person A worse off, and all $100 are being utilized. However, if you have person A having $30, person B having $30, that is not Pareto efficient, because you see there's $100 and we only have 60 here, so there's $40 somewhere else. So we could make each person better off by using this money that we haven't used yet without making the other person worse off, and that is Pareto efficiency. Pareto efficiency does not mean equitable, it just means that all the resources are being utilized. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.